This on my eye. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, depending upon where you are in the world. Hello, hello. I'm going to wait until some folks join in. Come on in, say hello. I am joining you from lovely Atlanta, Georgia. My name is Tanisha Mercer. I live abroad. Two and a half years ago, I moved to Paris, France from Atlanta. I am a Detroit girl. I'm from Detroit, Michigan originally, but lived in Atlanta for like 16 years. For those of you who may not know me, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Please come on in. Come on in the chat and say good morning. We're going to talk about your move abroad plan this morning. Moving abroad, we're going to talk about it. As I mentioned, I'm in lovely Atlanta, Georgia. I go back to Paris next week. If you've been anywhere on these internet streets, you know that moving abroad is a hot topic. We've been talking about this on this channel for a while. At least since the summertime, we've been talking about the plan to move abroad. Like before, Kamala Harris was even on the ticket. We were talking about your plan to move abroad. Good morning, Barbara. How are you? Or good afternoon, probably where you are. So we've been talking moving abroad for a minute, right? At least, I want to say even before that. Let's say early in the year, because I started this channel at the end of December 2023. And we've been talking about moving abroad since then. I have detailed my journey of moving to Paris, France in summer of 2022 unofficially. Officially, January of 2023, right? So, we know what has been going on, right? We know the past day or so we've been regrouping, we've been resting, we've been relaxing, as Black women need to do. This channel is for Black women who want to solo travel or move abroad. We prioritize rest here. We prioritize relaxation here. We know the assignment. I'm encouraging at this point Black women to save our energy. There isn't anything else that we need to do. Please save your energy to move abroad, to travel abroad. Save yourself. Save yourself. Thank you for those of you who joined me on yesterday's live. I had a great time talking with you guys. Had some great numbers, like more than 500. I need to go back and look and see how many of you guys looked at it. I was in my headscarf. I just felt like I had some things I needed to say, and I didn't care nothing about my hair, how I looked, anything else. I'm a little bit more presentable this morning. I'm on my daughter's patio, again, in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you for sharing with your family in Atlanta, Barbara. I appreciate that. Look, it helps. Those of you out there, be like Barbara. Share this message, share this channel. It is one of the best ways you can help me as a Black woman YouTube creator out here, sharing this channel with people who are interested in moving abroad, especially Black women. And this is a community for Black women, right? This information is free. There are I've got like 180 videos primarily about moving abroad and my life in Paris. So there are plenty of videos for those who want to know more information. Now, if you don't want to look at 180 videos, because who really got time for all that, schedule a one-on-one call with me, a one-on-one consult, Zoom, phone call, whatever, Google Meet. We're going to get it together, okay? We can meet and talk about your move abroad plan. Let's get your move abroad plan together. I have clients who have been able to solidify their move abroad plans. They've been able to get the pieces in place. Some clients just, they need an extra eye. I worked with a client recently, and honestly, she had everything all together. I referred her to my immigration attorney in France. She happened to want to move to France. But this is not just for France. It doesn't matter where you want to go. Anywhere in the world you want to go, okay, it's available. The same things apply, like the same rules and procedures. So anywhere you want to go in this lovely world, just let me know. We can schedule a move abroad consulting call. Get your plan together. Now is important. In all of these expat groups that I'm seeing, there's this panic. And this was really to be expected, right? It was to be expected because, we woke up yesterday morning, at least I did. I went to bed pissed off. And I was like, oh, this is some BS right here. And maybe it'll change when I wake up. Like maybe this is a nightmare and maybe things will change. But no, it just got worse when I woke up. It was just worse. Good morning. Let's talk about it with Mara. Good morning. So we are trying to regroup and refocus. I am begging, pleading Black women. This ain't our fight. We fought enough. We fought long and hard, right? So let's save ourselves. Rest, relax, reprioritize ourselves. I don't know who is Predator. First of all, I don't like your name. So we're going to hide this user on the channel and hide his messages. We aren't doing this today. Like, every day I have to say this. Every time I have to say this. Whenever I tell Black women to leave America, we get people who love to come on here on this channel for Black women. I'm like, how are y'all finding this channel? Right? How are you finding this channel? There are so many red pill, Trump America, pro-Trump, pro-conservative channels on YouTube. This is not one. But you really, y'all really decide to fix your fingers and get on here. You will be blocked every single time. So, Predator, which, again, name alone, you don't belong here. You don't belong here, because how you on here with a name like Predator? That does not sound like a safe name at all. This is a safe space for Black women. I have to reiterate this too many times. And Mara, exactly. They hate to see us free. Baby, we free. We are free. We love what the ancestors have done for us. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams, right? Because Black women now in 2024, in this century, we have the ability to move around. We got the ability to move around. We can move wherever it is that we want to go. You want to move to France, baby? Come on, let's go. Join me for a cup of coffee at a cafe in Paris. You want to go to South Africa? Let's go. Ghana? Like Barbara said in the comments, let's go. You want to go to, Brazil? You can move there too. Where you want to go? Fiji? Come on, let's do it. I want to go to Fiji. I want to go visit Fiji. I really do. I heard it's lovely. Stephanie Perry. Those of you follow her channel, you know she is wonderful. She's talked about Fiji a lot in her visiting there and the great time that she had. I want to go visit. I need to go visit. But wherever it is that you want to go, okay? Wherever it is. Maybe you want, I don't know, maybe you want to go to Vietnam. I don't know. The world is really big. If France doesn't work for you, if Vietnam doesn't work for you, Colombia, Panama, wherever. There's so many places to go. We're not going to fight about where to go. We're just going to get ready to go. Yes, Maya, Mexico, Southeast Asia, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, Mexico is a hop, skip, and a jump. You can get to Mexico, I mean, depending upon where you're talking about going, right? In Mexico, but come on now. You're right there by the border, right there. Like, you can, in depending upon what state in Mexico, you can get there quicker than you can get to California, okay? So, I mean, from the East Coast. So it just depends on what you're doing and where you are. So we have so many options. We are not going to limit ourselves. We're going to get our move abroad plan together. This is a time that we need to strategize. That's the only work that I want us to do. Okay, I don't want us to do no work for nobody else. I'm sorry. No, I'm not even sorry. I'm not even apologizing. We've been muling and working for too long. It's time that we save ourselves. SOS. We are sending out an SOS. Okay? We are global women of the world. If we move somewhere and we don't like it, we can move somewhere else. We can go somewhere else. But like Mara said, they hate to see us free. They can't stand a free Black woman. A free Black woman who decides that the U.S. may not be for her. Who decides that they want to travel. who decides that they want to create the life of their dreams. Maybe you don't want to move, maybe you want to travel more. Maybe you don't want to move full time, maybe you want to be a snowbird and you want to spend your winters, I don't know, in Jamaica. Maybe you decide that you live in New York or in the Northeast or Midwest, wherever it's cold, and you want to spend your the fall in Southeast Asia. I don't know. We can pick a place or places, right? But we're going to get this move abroad plan together. So how do you go from, and I'm pulling up my notes here, I'm sorry, y'all. How do you go from not realizing that you want to move abroad to how do you actually make it happen? So I'm actually going to put, I'm working with two phones, y'all, I'm sorry. My laptop, I forgot to bring my converter. So it would have been so much easier with my laptop. My daughter is working. She's inside working in meetings so I can't use her laptop. But I'm going to put in here a chat to schedule a move abroad consulting call with me. Let's talk about your move abroad plans. Let's actually get this thing together. I made the move abroad in 2022. We can do this. Black women, we can do this, okay? Mara is it Mara or Mara? I'm sorry. I'm hoping it's Mara. I'm hoping I'm not mispronouncing your name. You're currently in New York, okay? Looking to save money, planning on Mexico next year. Absolutely. Congratulations, Mara, on making that decision. It all starts with a decision. That is the number one thing. The first step is making the decision to leave. It took me years to leave, like years. I first went to France in 2017, was my first visit. In 2018, I thought I could actually live here because I had, came back a couple of times. It took me 4 years to actually get out of my own way. Most of the times, it is indeed us. We stand in our own way. The biggest part is making the decision to leave. That is step number one, making the decision to actually leave. Maybe you don't know where. Mara is planning Mexico next year. Maybe you don't know where. Maybe you're like, I don't know where I want to go. But I promise you, step one is a decision to leave. Step one is a decision to leave. Step one is putting yourself first. Step one is saying, you know what? I'm done here. Not saying you're done here, because as U.S. citizens, you have the right to always come back. You can go back and forth. But it's not an all or nothing, right? But it is a matter of putting yourself first, of putting your travel needs first. We don't have to be out here, we don't have to be out here and to keep working and working and working. There are ways that you can move abroad. But it starts with a decision. I had to make that decision to move abroad. It took me a while to actually go from saying I would actually do it to actually doing it. So I want you to decide today, number one, decide to make the decision. And then I want you to go ahead, after you make that decision, I want you to go to calendly.com/Tanisha Mercer and schedule a move abroad consulting call with me. Let's talk about it. Let's get it together. But you need to make the decision first. Make the decision to get out. This is, unfortunately, Trump America. As bad as it sounds, it is what it is. But I want us to prioritize ourselves, our rest, our plan. If we're going to plan for anybody, it's going to be for ourselves, right? If we're going to do any work, it is going to be for ourselves. We are not dying on the sword of any political party, of any political candidate. No, we are not. We are sending out an SOS, and we are saving ourselves first. My life where I am, is it without problems? No, there is no place that is free of racism. No place. There's no place free of isms, period. White supremacy is global. Is my life better where I am now? Absolutely. Absolutely. My biggest fear, honestly, is pickpockets on the subway. That is my biggest fear every day. I don't have the same worries that I have in the U.S. My stress level is down tremendously, right? My quality of food is much better. My quality of life is much better. My expenses are 30 to 50% lower, where I am in Paris. It is possible. We have this impression that moving abroad has to be really expensive, and it does not. Depending upon the country you go to, it absolutely does not. Now, if you move to a higher price country, listen, I was in Switzerland a couple months ago. As much as I like Switzerland, baby, it is expensive. So it depends on where you go, right? Depends on where you go. But we are going to first make that decision to go ahead and move abroad. Number two, what else are we going to do? We're going to figure out where we want to go, or at least have a couple and a general idea. We're going to think about our top 5 places. It could be like Mara, it could be Mexico, right? It could be like Barbara, it could be Ghana, right? It could be South Africa. There's so many countries in the world. And there are so many places that are more visa friendly than others, right? You have some places you can go with no visa. You could be, it could be no visa, depending upon your situation. You could be close to retirement. I am almost 50 years old. I'll be 50 years old in a couple of weeks. I am closer to retirement than I'm not, right? I've got 12 years to early retirement. There's a whole other area out there for people who you may have your government pension. You may have your pension already. You may be a retiree. You could be from the military. You could be 35 and retired with a military pension. Do you know you could be out? Because guess what? That pension counts as income. Depending upon the country, listen, you can still get your money, right? It'll be a USD conversion, but you can still get your money. I don't know exactly how that process works. All I'm saying is that you have so many options. There are so many options depending upon your particular financial situation, which is why like a one size thing does not fit everybody, right? There's some people who perhaps I a digital nomad, right? I just need a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection and I'm good to work, right? Other people may have to think about what it is they want to do or what they do be converted to another country. I suggest getting online income. You have to figure out that online income piece. Most of these countries, there are going to be income requirements. Most countries are not just going to let you move there for free, right? Meaning, they want to make sure you can sustain yourself. Most of the time, sustaining yourself will be much cheaper in those other countries than in America. A lot of times we talk ourselves out and say we can't stay, we can't go, but I'm telling you, you can. If you are in places like New York, like LA, like much of the Northeast, like, more expensive areas of the US, when you go to many of these other countries, you quickly find out things are cheaper. Mexico is a great example. For example, if you're like in Playa del Carmen, I mean, a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment with all the modern conveniences, it's definitely cheaper than what apartments in Atlanta cost, right? The average price of a 1 bedroom apartment in Atlanta at one point was going for like close to $2,000. I mean, have you seen apartment rentals in America? They're very expensive. You can indeed go somewhere else for much cheaper. Much cheaper. I also encourage you to go to sites like numbeo.com. You want to look at the cost of living. Numbeo is numbeo.com. You want to look at the cost of living. Is where you're going, is it more expensive? What is the price for a gallon of milk, right? A dozen of eggs, gasoline, average price for apartment rentals. What is the cost ratio? You do want to do that breakdown. You do have to do your homework. I highly suggest that you don't want to move anywhere without doing your homework. But get the cost of living down. Like even in terms of different cities, cost of living varies by city. So I'm in Paris. I mean, not right now, but I live in Paris. Living in Paris is going to be cheaper than living. I'm sorry, it's going to be more expensive than living outside of Paris in the suburbs, right? You can almost get definitely bigger properties a lot of times for a cheaper rent outside of Paris. So it's the same thing for most of these other cities. The great thing about Numbeo, and let me put that in the chat. The great thing about Numbeo, it does break it down. Again, childcare, It breaks, well, I don't know about childcare, but it does break it down by your expenses. So it's breaking it down. You can find out how much groceries would cost you, how much utilities would cost you, how much these things are going to cost you. So give me a second, guys. Let me put this in the chat. But how is everyone else doing? Please come on in and say hello. Those of you who are watching, come on in and say hello. Say good morning, good afternoon. Come on in and say hello. Let me put the Numbio information in. You should be able to see the link. If you can't see it, let me know. Numbio.com. That is where you go and get the. You're able to look at the cost of living. Hey, it's personal to me. Good morning. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Um, yes, the fear. I get it. All of us have been scared. All of us have been scared. I can't. All of us have been. Listen, I understand and I get it. For some people, even getting that passport is step one. Some people may not have their passport. And I want to encourage everybody, if you don't have it, please go get it. What does it cost to get a passport? Is it like $180 or so? I don't know exactly the price. Um, but for some people, that is legit ground zero. I got my passport 10 years ago. I haven't always been traveling internationally. That's the thing. We all have to crawl before we can walk. And so I never like to, some people getting a passport is an accomplishment. Um, it's personal to me. No, it's not too late. No, it's not too late. You can get started now. You can get started. It is not too late. Gigi's Palace is saying it's 130 plus. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Barbara's saying less than 200. It's personal saying she lost her passport. You know what? If you lost your passport, all you have to do is go online and you have to just, my daughter had lost her passport a couple of years ago. So all you have to do is go online and make an appointment, I believe. Um, you go online, you check that you lost your passport. Your goal is to get a passport appointment wherever you live, or if you can schedule an appointment in a town that is you can get to by quickly. So like my daughter, we were going on our scouting trip to France. We spent a month in France in August of 2022. We spent a month in Paris, I'm sorry. And she had lost her passport. So that's why I'm saying I know you can do it. And I believe they changed the procedure since then. So I know what she did was at one point, I had booked the trip and forgot that she couldn't find her passport. So what ended up happening is that she lost her passport and she ended up finding it. But anyway, once she went through that process, the old one was destroyed. But she lost her passport, couldn't find it. Already, the trip was already booked, and she had to get it quickly. And so she was literally considering flying to Houston to get it because there were no appointments. Um, Listen, get it. Start today. Start today. You can get you an appointment at your local passport office. If not, see what the other areas that are near you, and please get that passport. That is the step one. That is ground zero of you traveling abroad and moving abroad or whatever you decide to do. But it all starts with that passport, right? And we sometimes tend to forget. Again, I just got my 10-year my renewal. When did I get it? In May. So I'm telling you, yeah, get that passport. Please get that passport. You can get it. You can get it. Um, it's personal. How did I deal with my family? Leaving my family. Listen, I love you, love your mama. Listen, I love my mama too. My mama does not travel. My mama does not travel within the US. It definitely ain't traveling anywhere internationally. I think you just have to visit. That's how you have to deal with that. You have to visit because you know what? We have one life. We have one life, and I'm determined to live it. My kids are 27, 25, and about to be 24. I miss my children all the time. But guess what? I am 8 hours away by flight. I'm an 8 hour flight away. So you really have to put yourself first. And I get, if your mama is healthy, my mama is healthy right now. If your mom is healthy, make sure she visits you if she's willing to travel and you visit her. That's how that works. A lot of times we make it more harder than what it has to be. But tell mama she got to get on that plane. My mama is not willing to get on the plane, okay? So I have to always go see her. It sucks, but it is what it is, right? So get on that plane, right? You may want to look at options that perhaps are a little bit closer to the U.S. if you are worried about it at all. The one thing I always say is just move. Just move. You can go somewhere else, right? There are so many countries, Mexico, Belize, Panama, so many places that are relatively close to the U.S., right? You just have to figure out the place where you want to go. Jamaica is one. I mean, just all those countries may not work for everybody, but again, there are so many options out there that are close to the U.S. that in a couple hours you'll be there. Colombia is a prime example. 2 hour flight, right? So close. Gigi, yes, I am. Man, I'm not acclimated yet. I'm trying not to get acclimated, but it's hard because, the 6 hour time difference. I'm sleepy at 7:30, 8:30 every night, but now I notice that, like, I'm up later. I'm here just long enough to where I don't want to get acclimated, but it's hard to because I'll be leaving on the 14th. So I'm trying, but it's really hard. My body is like, what are you doing? Right? It's personal. She's good. Okay, good. Yeah, you have to be really careful because our loved ones, our parents, grandparents, our family members, they love us. But sometimes your plans are different than theirs. And you have to be careful too because sometimes they will put their fear on you, right? It's like, do you know how unsafe of a country America is right now? And yet people will say, I'm worried about you going over there. I'm worried about you overseas. I'm worried about you being safe. And I always say, I worry about you being here. That is what I worry about, right? I worry about you being here. If I can just bubble wrap my children and bring them over to where I am, okay? Bubble wrap my mama. My mama is not leaving the state of Michigan, okay? She's not leaving. I have to come to accept that. But it's really important that I'm an advocate of not telling too many people about your plans, telling people who are only in your corner, because people's fears will rub off on you. They definitely will. And you're right. Barbara is right. The dollar goes so much further in other places. It just depends on where you are. Right now, the euro is molly-whopping the dollar right now. Okay. But yeah, it's actually my son calling right now. You sent him a message that I will call him back. But yeah, it just depends on where you go. Depends on where you are. And the dollar is real janky anyway, right? Real janky. So it just depends. But I'm telling you, even with the conversion, I lose money because my money is in USD. So I do lose some money. But even with the conversion, even with the lower cost of living, I'm able to make it work. So it really just, you can make it work. You can make it work. We will talk ourselves out of it, but I promise you we can make it work. Just that fear is something. We got to be careful with that one. Even if it's our mama, and we love our mamas. We love our mamas. We love our cousins, aunties, uncles, but their lives are not your lives, right? Sometimes you have to make that decision. And like I said, long as Delta, United, and American, and British Airways, Air France, they all still working, right? They're all Spirit, depending on where you're going, they're all still working. Get on a flight and see your people, right? Get on a flight and see your people, or have them come see you. If you really want to test it out, have them come see you. And the reason why I always say that is, like, I know my mom does not travel, so I don't count her in this. But the same people who are begging you to stay will not go see you. They will not come see you. So you cannot live your life based upon what their opinions. Planes still work, okay? They still work. They still work. It's personal. If you have a deep gut feeling, baby, that is that your higher power, whatever higher power you believe in, okay? That's your higher power right there. So it's telling you to go ahead and do what you got to do. It's telling you to do what you got to do, right? Especially if you don't see yourself living here. So what did we say? Goodness, I always do these step videos 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I will mess around, forget which steps I last was talking about. So we talked about, what did we say? Step number 1, making the decision to go. Step number 2, if you need to, get a passport, right? Step number 3, deciding on where you want to go. Have your top 5 places you may want to go. Let's see. Each person was saying you bought a house in Alabama and moved from Georgia. Okay. My family says it's too far, so the only one I think about is your mom. Well, you know what? If you bought the house, you can do a couple of things. You can rent it out if you choose. You can keep your house. You can sell your house. There are so many things you can do. Again, with some people, they may want to keep their house if they're not going to make a permanent move. For me, I was in a position to where I was thinking about buying a house before I left. And baby, I'm so glad I did not do that. That would have been not a good thing for me. Now, yes, I would have probably been able to get a lot of equity and value in the house, but it can be difficult, you having a house and you're in another country. Now, you can hire a property management company that can maintain it, okay? So it's not impossible. There are plenty of people in this community who figure out a way, right? Your sons are in the military. Congratulations, military mom. So they're never, listen, I said the same thing with my children. My children they are in the military, but my children are living their lives, right? They're in their careers. They're doing them. My son is getting married next year. My 2 daughters I got one in grad school. The other one is in tech. They're figuring out their lives as 20-plus-year-old people. They don't have time for me. I mean, they do, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I've lived my life, and they're living theirs. And we don't need to do this hand-holding, right? We raise independent children who can hopefully take care of themselves. But you would not believe the amount of people who ask me still, well, what do your children think about you moving? And I'm just like, what do you mean, what do my children think about me moving? They're grown adults. Okay, would I love to have them with me? Absolutely. But my youngest daughter, she was going to move, and she did not like France. She's a grown woman, so she made the decision to come back to the U.S. to finish her studies, right? So it's like, listen, I'm doing me, right? I'm doing me, and it's important that, because Black women oftentimes are expected to sacrifice for so many other people but ourselves, right? And that's why the only thing I'm asking Black women to do at this point is just use your energy, harness your energy on yourself in terms of moving abroad, if that's what you want to do. Travel abroad, enjoying life, whatever it is that you want to do, okay? Whatever it is that your hobbies are. If you're on this page, you're probably in this community, you're probably more interested in traveling and moving abroad. But whatever it is that it relates to you, we've done the work. We've done the work. We need to rest and relax. We've done the work. We've done the work. So what else? Figuring out the countries you want to move to. Next, making a firm and solid decision. You may want to visit. I don't suggest you move to anywhere without visiting, because you might not like it. Can you imagine getting all your stuff together to go somewhere, and then you find out you don't like it, right? You find out that you don't like the weather in Paris in the winter. Like, you hate it, and it's unbearable. You find out you move to Mexico, and you find a certain state in Mexico, and you find out that, baby, it's too hot. You can't take it. You can't take it. So you need to visit. You need to visit. Does that mean you can't up and move? Yeah, of course you can up and move. But I suggest visiting, and if at all possible. Now, some people make the move without visiting. And listen, bless you. Bless you. I can do that, but bless you, right? So figuring out where you want to move is an important step. Also, thinking about the online income, thinking about your income. What is your income going to look like in your new space? Online income. Income that you can take wherever you are. What is it that you do that you can take wherever you want to go, whatever country you want to go? For the most part, I hate to break it to you, but a lot of times the things we do in the US are not, either they're not portable to where you go, or you're probably not going to be happy with the amount of pay that you're getting. So if you want to move to Mexico, probably not going to be happy with the amount of pay that you're getting. If you want to move to France, probably expect a 50% pay cut off the top. 50 to 70% off the top. And are you okay with that? Right? Can you get a new skill? Can you reskill? Can you continue to make money in the US and live off of that money? Can you do it? It's personal. Thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Listen, wherever you feel drawn to, I'm a firm believer wherever you feel drawn to is where you should go. And everywhere we're going to feel drawn to different places. No place is a wrong place, right? No place is the wrong place. You have to pick the right place for you. And so pick where you're drawn to. Pick where you're drawn to. One of my, one person that I was working with that is, she's always been drawn to the south of France. And now she's in the south of France, living her best life, right? She didn't want to go to Paris because she thought like she loves France and she loves Paris, but she knew she didn't want to live there. It's really gray in the winter. Winters are cold, miserable, whatever. She knew she wanted warmer temperatures. So she is living her best life in this beautiful community in the south of France. And I keep saying I'm going to go visit her because she lives like near the ocean or something. It's absolutely amazing. She's off the coast. Off the coast. It's personal. You will be surprised at how much you really can, how much your dollar can stretch, how much expenses are lower in Paris. Just depends on where you are. Traveling here for vacation and living here are two entirely different things. I promise you. One of the ways I've been able to make it without a job, right? Lost my job in February of 2024, and I definitely did the numbers, ran the numbers. Should I go back to the U.S.? Man, going back to the U.S. would be an immediate financial hit, right? Immediate financial hit. So go on that site. It's in the comments, numbio.com. Let me know if you can see it. You should be able to. Plug in your numbers. Hey, B-Image, Luxembourg. Yes, Luxembourg, I like Luxembourg. It's really English friendly. It really is. Congratulations on you almost finishing in global logistics. Congratulations. You're in a great area for that. Global, that's a great field. Like, honestly, especially in Europe, it's a great field. Luxembourg is the spot. I mean, what a lot of people will end up doing, honestly, is they'll like live in France, because France is right by borders Luxembourg, and they live in France and that close proximity to Luxembourg. I've been once, and I was surprised. Like, so much English is spoken. It's relatively diverse. So many different people are there. It just was a whole vibe. A lot of Cape Verdeans are there. Just a lot of different people. Definitely diverse. Thank you for watching B-Image. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad you were able to catch the live. Or Manchester. Okay. Listen, Manchester, I get it. Yes. Wherever speaks to you. Wherever speaks to you. I just know that with your degree in global logistics, I mean, that's one of the things they struggle with, I feel like, in France, is like, it's a great field to go into, honestly. It really is. It's personal. You're information cybersecurity. Okay, you're a tech sister. Yes. Okay. All right. Listen, it's all about, I remember years ago when I was first trying to figure out how to make the move, and a friend of mine told me to work, a friend of mine who lives in the UK, has lived in the UK for 20 years, from DC, has lived around the world. And she's the one who told me, like, you need to work for a company, a global company that will let you work anywhere. And that's what I did. I'm on the user experience side of tech. It's personal. So I'm on a different side. I thought about cybersecurity for a hot minute, especially being out of work. And I was like, what am I doing? Mm-mm. It didn't speak to me, but you know, just on the tech end of things, what we do is often portable, and just finding an employer, a lot of times maybe a contract thing, a contract arrangement, who is okay with you working out of the country. Be Image, my thoughts on the election. Mm, for me, I had the candidate that I knew that I was going to vote for, and my candidate did not win. And I worry what's going to happen now. Like I said, even though I'm not here, my children are here. My family is here. I have a vested interest in things going well, right? And we all also know that whatever happens in the U.S. economy affects the global economy on a world stage. So yes, it's personal. Listen here, I encourage us to get into it, because let me tell you something. This is probably the easiest money I've ever made in my life, right? Like the, and I try to tell people, like, it's legal money. It's easy, depending upon what you do. Okay, so yeah, for me, I tech is the way to go because it's an extremely portable career. I'm at the point now to where I'm interviewing with companies. I've interviewed with companies in France and companies in Europe. So I'm looking for those roles and contracts and things that will give me the flexibility, because I need those work from anywhere type of positions and contracts and things like that. So yes, for me, tech has been a portable career, and I encourage people to get in. I encourage black women to get into it. I encourage black women who are young to get into it, because if you have a family and you want to have a family, it is a, listen, uh, yeah, it's the best way. The best way. Um, you love it. Congratulations. I'm glad you love it. I'm glad you love it. It is a great, it's definitely a growing field, right? That's originally the reason why I looked into it, but it didn't work for me. But I'm glad that you love it. I'm glad. Thank you, B Image. Listen, I'm out here. Phone has been kind of dry. LinkedIn been kind of dry, but we continue. I am. I'm not gonna say I'm giving up on it, but I have to. I've been looking long enough and interviewing long enough to where I'm looking at making some different types of moves. So it will always have my heart. But yeah, I know what I need, and that is something that will allow me to work from where I am. You know, that time difference can be a lot sometimes, but I've been doing it for a while, and it's normal for me now. So I would love to work with a company within Europe that pays really well. So realizing that I won't make what those U.S. dollars, but also realizing that the income, the security, the job security is different. So as someone who has been laid off many times, right, a few times, I know what it's like to come in and basically your whole department is wiped out. I know what it's like to come in and, like, oh, this contract is ending, right, with no notice. So I'm looking at things a little bit differently now, right? I'm also older. I'm about to be 50. I'm literally interviewing, and I think I said this yesterday on the live, like, at one point my phone was so dry, and definitely in last month, and definitely September and October, particularly September, like, things picked up, right? But I realized that one of the things that is happening is that I'm interviewing with people who I am older than and I have more experience than. So, yeah, the aging out of corporate America definitely happens. And so it's something we don't really talk about enough. And I would talk about it with my friend, but like we knew we were coming up on it, but it kind of surprised us a little bit. We're both in tech and both looking for work. It is not the best time to be in tech right now in the field that we're in, right? So yeah, and things do get slower in the holidays. You're right, B Image. Employee, yeah, things will definitely pick up. So after the holidays, I'm just chilling. I am enjoying my time here. You know, folks are asking me, so what are you doing? Are you just staying at home? Yeah, I'm just staying at, listen, I have 3 children who have 3 houses, and I'm bouncing around all of them. So a couple days with my son, over my daughter's house now. I'll go back to my other daughter's house. you know, which is really my house, right? It's really my house, but she's there. And I have a tenant, and she's there, you know. So, listen, I'm bouncing around. I'm bouncing around. It's personal. Listen, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You know, it's crazy because a lot of times I feel like I have such a small space, and don't have a space that I have in the US. And sometimes I just be feeling like, you know, I'm just redoing the same outfits all over again. Like I'm doing the same clothes. But thank you for that. I try the best with what I have because I do literally do not have a space. Sometimes I think that, you know, like I look at my space sometimes and I'm like, you know what? My closet used to be bigger than my whole entire bedroom that I have now. Like, yeah. So, um, be image. I'm trying to figure it out. You know what? You know what? I gotta figure some things out, or wholesale items or something, because I just, for me, I just dress the way I like to dress, right? I just dress the way I like to dress. So I'm always like, well, do people like the way the dress, you know, this way? I don't know. But I'm gonna figure it out. I'm going to, when I get back, do more, stay tuned, y'all, for more Paris content. Like, I have a bunch of people around me who are definitely speaking life into me. And one of the things they keep saying is, people want to see you in Paris. Girl, what are you doing? Like, hold the camera up and just do it. Like, your day. And I'm just like, do people really want to see that? I will listen. I will overthink things in a minute. So get ready for more Paris content, more showing you my life in Paris, showing you fashion style, all of that stuff. Okay? Yes, I need to contact. Yes, yes. I need to figure some things out for sure. Because I'm just over there living my life. Just over there living my life and having a great time. So, yes, I need to figure some things out. But I am focused on coming back and figuring some things out, applying for my visa, working with my visa attorney. That always stresses me out. I got a few videos I need to post about that process. Um, but yeah, my visa expires December 31st, and it's a whole process. But it's always stressful because anytime you literally have someone can tell you whether you can stay or not, it's stressful for me. So yeah, we are doing the visa process. I will be coming back, refocusing, refocusing this YouTube channel because I had stopped doing lives. I honestly had stopped doing lives. I would do them Sundays at 12 noon Eastern. So I got to get back to doing lives. Got to get back to talking to y'all. Okay, it helps me definitely. So we're going to figure it out. Thank you for your suggestions, B-Image. So any questions that you guys have? Any questions? So you're in Houston applying for your visa in December. Yes, congratulations. I love it. So how long will you be staying? How long will you be staying? Will you be staying past the 3 months or whatever? Any questions you guys have about moving abroad? We talked about a few steps, basic steps you need to make. We talked about making the decision to leave. We talked about getting your passport. Really, that needs to probably be number one if you don't have it. Making the decision to leave. We talked about identifying the areas where you want to go, having your top 5 list. We talked about making a scouting trip and figuring out where you want to go. We talked about online income. We talked about running the numbers, right? Those are just some of the beginning steps. There are a lot of steps in between there, but those are the beginning steps of figuring out where you want to go. You need to also figure out, do you want to be a slow traveler and bop around to different countries? Do you want to get somewhere and sit down like I did? Do you want to do some time in the US and some time in other countries? So 8 days. Okay, 8 days. Okay, you'll be good. The one thing about that US passport that I'm grateful for is in most places you're good up to 89 days, right? Depending upon the country, but most places you're good. You're good. That US passport is the one good thing it's for, right? You are good. So those are some of the elementary baby steps. If you need more specific steps, don't forget, click on the link in the caption, calendly.com, Tanisha Mercer. Schedule a move abroad consulting call with me. Let's get your thing together. Um, it's personal. 30 days is perfect. And 30 days is perfect. What I highly suggest is if you can, because a lot of Americans just want to kind of come in for 5 days and leave. That's not enough time. 30 days is perfect. You can use that time to go to the south of France. You can go to the Champagne region. You can go wherever it is that you want. You can do beyond Paris. You can hop over to London for a few days because it's literally a 2 hour train ride away. You can do Amsterdam. You can do, that's like an hour and a half. You can do so much in 30 days. 30 days is perfect because you really can go around. 30 days is perfect. Perfect, perfect. Um, B Image, what do you suggest for a first time expat trying to go house hunting? Condo? It's you, your daughter, and your son. Okay, okay. So you want to go house hunting where? In another country, or where do you want to go house hunting? It's personal. It's gonna be good. Listen, 30 days is going to be absolutely amazing. Like French kiss. Like, but not French kiss. Not French kiss. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, not French kiss. Chef's kiss. Okay, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Those 30 days is going to be absolutely amazing. But B Image, where are you? Are you your first time expat? You're house hunting. Where are you looking at buying in the UK? You're looking at buying in the UK. What I would suggest, honestly, is for me, I'm always of the opinion to rent first. I'm of the opinion to rent first, and then, goodness, this is my son calling me again. Hold on a second, you guys. Hey, I'm on a live. What's going on? Okay, I'll call you back. All right. Okay. Okay. Bye. Sorry about that, y'all. He called twice, so I know what was going on. Um, it's personal. What I would suggest is honestly renting first to see what area you may like. Because even when it comes to London, it's such a big city. I don't know if it's London, where I don't know where in the UK you're talking about, but let's just say, for example, London. It's such a big city, and you want to be close, but not direct in this city. I really think you want to figure out rent for a little bit to figure out where you want to go. I think one mistake some people make is they just immediately want to buy, and when you're in a new country and if it's a place you're not as familiar with, you need to know the area. Need to know the area. I know that in the UK, I think as Americans we get up to 6 months, but I think that we have to be. I want to say you have to be sponsored by somebody, or you have to. I'm not sure exactly with the UK, but I'm assuming you can also do the online income thing. But yeah, I would suggest if it's you, your son, and your daughter, I would suggest renting. Honestly, even if you can do a short-term rental, 6 months to a year, because to me, when you're buying, you want to be sure where you want to go, right? You want to be sure. 8-year old daughter, 15-year old son. Yeah, you want to be sure. For me, I would say I would rent first. I'm not a big fan of buying in another country initially until you're absolutely sure you know the area. And that's going to require you being there for a minute. Barbara is saying, yeah, wait at least a year before buying. Yeah, and check the requirements, because just because you buy does not mean you can stay there. Like even in France, I mean, you can go and buy a house if you want to. It doesn't mean you want to get a visa because of it. It's not automatic. So you want, especially with kids, you want to make sure that you all like the area that you are in. So to Barbara's point, wait at least a year. Do a short-term rental, because what you think you may like when you first move there, you might not. You might not like. So you want to buy in the U.S. And then internationally. Listen, you can use that home in the U.S. to fund your international travels and plans. It's personal. Would you? Yes, I would suggest renting a Airbnb. Let me send this. Let me put the site in the chat. Airbnbs can be quite expensive here. To us as Americans, they aren't. But I can tell you that French people do not mess around with Airbnbs because they're unaffordable to them, right? I'm going to put the site in the chat that you can use. It's called morningcroissant.com. Let me put it in here. So, It's called morningcroissant.com. They are a competitor to They are a competitor to Airbnb. They are in Paris and the south of France. Um, you do have to put a deposit down. You do have to do a few more documentation than Airbnb, right? But you're going to find much more reasonable rates. So it's called morningcroissant.com. Check that site out. That's the way that you can kind of get you can definitely do a short-term rental. Airbnb, I will say, is very competitive. So just start looking, like honestly, start looking now. Just look and see what pricing you're going to be coming up against. If you want ease, definitely Airbnb, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Another is VRBO. Also, don't forget booking.com is another one. Hotels are good, but hotels are, see if you can get a deal, because 30 days in a hotel can definitely add up pretty quickly. So yeah, those are all great options, but definitely check out booking.com, VRBO, Morning Croissant to find a property for a 30-day rental. And you can also even perhaps, even with the hotel, you can see if you can work a deal, right? 30 days is it's almost like a long-term rental. So you can see what you can do. You never know. So just ask. All they can do is say no. What else? What else? Any other questions? If you guys don't have any more questions, it's been a great hour that I've almost spent with you. Any other questions? I'm going to get off of this live and kind of begin my day, do a little bit of work. Any other questions while I'm here? I've enjoyed speaking to you. Thank you for joining me on this live. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Congratulate. Oh, listen. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. It's personal. Yes, you got that passport appointment. Yes. Listen. Okay. You can ask about global working. Ask to see what their policies are. One thing I also encourage people to do is, in some cases, you may be able to see if they will make you if you're an employee like a W-2 employee, you can also perhaps ask if they're open to making you a 1099 employee. That's one way that some people are able to move abroad. Because sometimes what you'll find out is employers will say, well, do you have the right to work in France? Or they will say, well, no, we can't do that for payroll reasons. I'm just saying you some of the things they may say. There are some employers who absolutely don't care, but there are some others that do. So just keep that in mind. There are different ways you can do it. If you can, if you're a 1099, especially in a country like France where you won't need the healthcare, you'll be able to get the healthcare in France, okay? So you can become a 1099 employee. You can work anywhere. There are no payroll problems that way. It's personal. Yes, I definitely hope to meet you when you come. Definitely stay in touch. Reach out. Definitely would love to meet you for a cup of coffee. What else? Definitely, Barbara, be blessed. Have a great day in Ghana. I know it's beautiful there. Have a great day, everybody. If you have any more questions, put them in the chat. I'm going to get ready to leave real quick. But Stephanie's expat convention, absolutely. She had yes, Exodus Summit is always a great event to go to. It really is. I appreciate her advice. Rashida Dow, just the expats, leaders, right? I love it. I love it. I love it. So you guys, I'm going to get ready to hop off. Thank you so much for joining. Do me a favor. If this channel is helpful, make sure you get in the chat before you go. Like this video, right? Like this conversation. Share this channel with people you know who want to move abroad. It's one of the best ways that you can help me as a Black woman YouTube creator. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Have a good day, you guys. Until the next time, I'm going to be doing more lives. So I'll be on here more talking about moving abroad. I just want us as Black women to rest, to relax, to focus on traveling more, moving abroad. This ain't our fight. Okay, this is not our fight no more. This is not our fight. So bye everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one, you guys. Talk to you later.